Oh, man. Hello.
Okay, we're going.
We're going.
It's another ride home review, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. We saw one of the bigger pictures of the summer, Jurassic World.
Also, first, we got our special backseat guest with us today, Mr. Landon Miller.
Howdy,
Say
howdy.
hi, Landon.
Glad to be here, guys.
We're glad that you're here. We're glad to have you. I saw the first three, so this will make every single Jurassic Park film in theaters. I saw the first one, which still holds up and is a classic. Too. I saw the second and third one, regrettably, in theaters because, in a nice way of saying, this is a nice way, they're dog shit. Well, that's really mean. I don't mean that. Yeah. They're not so. I mean, they weren't as great.
I don't think this film even acknowledged the sequels at all.
They're just not what the first one was, because it was kind of like this magical, new thing no one had seen before, and it's still a great movie. And so I had.
That's kind of the sad thing about Jurassic Park, is it's kind of like the Star Wars of the '90s. In a way.
Yeah.
You're right.
But it didn't get any good sequels. It's a single
great
movie with no great sequels.
And because of that, I even saw like teasers and previews of this, and I was kind of like,
I was very skeptical. The trailers were not very good.
I was super skeptical. The CG looked a little off to me, and I just thought, oh no, they're trying to do it again. And I was a little unsure about it, and I was kind of worried. Like, why do it? But, I went and obviously I just went and saw it because you guys
let's turn the lights on, guys.
Oh, yeah. And so I was skeptical and was kind of going in, just kind of trying to keep an open mind. And honestly, I enjoyed it as far as, summer blockbuster fun movie is concerned.
I was very pleasantly surprised. I was going pretty pessimistic, and I thought it was pretty awesome.
I think it came closest by far to capturing the fun spirit of the first one.
It
didn't take itself too seriously, which I think the second one was guilty of. Yeah. And the third one to some extent. I mean, there are some problems with it, but you overlook it because there are a lot of other moments that
had a lot of fun. And
had a lot of fun.
If Jurassic Park's supposed to teach us anything, it's that you don't mess with a T-Rex. And
Absolutely.
This movie does that.
And really just quit messing with dinosaurs. Stop it. It never goes well. Yeah. Just leave them
Well, when I first heard about the genetically modified and all that, I thought that was kind of silly. And the movie's a little self-aware. It's kind of meta, where it's it's joking about corporate sponsorships, but also has product placement out the yin yang.
Yeah.
Or how about Jimmy Fallon?
Right. Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
I thought that was pretty
interesting. It's some weird product placement.
Fallon's
everywhere.
on C-SPAN now.
And it's self-aware, as almost being critical, but it doesn't. It's still doing what it's self-aware.
There are a lot of winks.
It's critical of itself. Yeah, but it's you're still doing it. You're acknowledging it's bad, yet you're still doing it.
And also, I remember, watching the first one, and you're still left with the idea of, oh, what if it had gone well and it was a park? What would that be like? And this shows you that, which is cool.
It does a pretty good job of showing
definitely
the amusement park.
And it didn't screw around too much before it got down to the brass tacks that they've created this hybrid dinosaur that is basically a monster, and it's on the loose. I mean, there wasn't too much character development.
It's a park with dinosaurs, and one of them gets loose, and they all have to survive.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking story.
Well, I like that they kept it that simple, though, because to me, what this one, and I did not see the other ones in theaters, but this one felt like I went to the park and I went on the ride.
Which is what Jurassic Park's supposed to be.
It didn't take it, it was just kind of light, and it got to the point, and then you're off and going.
And I agree with you there, Landon. I'm glad it's retreading the same territory, but that's all it's really supposed to do, in a way, is be this theme park ride.
Yeah.
And it did do that successfully.
And you only need to be emotionally invested, even if you not
I didn't mean to get
clinging. I wasn't
get
very.
Up on Fairfield.
Super. But they keep the characters kind of to a minimum in terms of the main people. You have Chris Pratt, who
excellent work.
God damn, that man's charming.
Yeah.
Charismatic.
But I was thinking about at the end, we got Bryce Dallas Howard. Her character had
the poor man Jessica Chastain. Not anymore though, because I thought this was a great performance by BDH.
And she was kind of the lead in the way. She had a story. Chris Pratt was the same guy all the way through. I loved him.
Definitely.
He was great, but he didn't change.
I do like that the more Bryce Dallas Howard's character evolved and the more likable she became, the more clothing she shed. And the bigger her breasts seemed to get.
They did go for a couple things like that I thought were particularly pointed.
Yeah.
And they had, the kids in there too.
Yep.
But
I wasn't sold at the beginning. I thought it was maybe the worst misuse of the theme song ever when they first play it when they're on the train ride. And it's just a shot of the kid with his Beats headphones on, and he's not looking at any dinosaurs, and the Jurassic Park theme soaring.
Beats by Dre.
And I was just like, wait a minute, why are we feeling this like overwhelming wonder, and we haven't seen a goddamn dinosaur yet.
Yeah, and there is a character play of Vincent D'Onofrio, who's a fantastic actor who is obsessed with weaponizing dinosaurs and using them in the military, which to me is I get that they're kind of they're better predators than what we have in the animal kingdom right now, but he's talking about using raptors on the battlefield. It's if we go to that line of thinking, then let's instead of using bombs, let's just drop a bunch of rattlesnakes in someone's camp. Don't get you. It's
kind of is that the next movie? Is that the next
Can you imagine
sequel,
canine
really?
raptors?
Just stop if that's the next one. Just stop.
What about the big fish? I'm interested what y'all thought about the...
I thought that was pretty good. I mean, that was a great kind of SeaWorld tie. It's this is the theme park.
It played to those, I think.
And I think it's a nice... I mean, this is, America theme park culture.
Okay, so what about... See, if
I didn't like the gyro things. I thought were really
I didn't understand how those worked.
And in the trailers, I thought the same. I was like, what the... That doesn't make...
There was no track, and they're just driving
drive around these... And same with the cool shot of the kayakers.
Right, that was super dangerous too.
I was like, wow, they're really letting
they should
their
have
guard
had
down.
fences
After everything
there.
that happened, they're just out there.
Well, I thought it was kind of funny that they had in the lobbies, they had holograms, and then they also had paper pamphlets.
I didn't pick up on that.
It's just kind of an interesting, this way to the hologram.
Right.
There was a great sequence in the middle of the movie. It's like a nod to the original, where they go back in the old place. It's all torn down. That was awesome.
That
made me feel nostalgic.
That was
crazy. I got real excited about that.
Yeah, I like that as well.
There were some great nods. There's some great humor throughout. Some nice little comical moments.
I think the final battle was awesome too.
I got so excited.
I thought they knocked that out of the park.
I didn't expect to get excited about a dinosaur fight.
I didn't know how they would resolve that, but that's not really what I expected. Even though now I'm like, maybe I should have.
Yeah.
But
and just
that
spoiler,
was really cool.
If
and
you're
fun.
not already aware that this was spoiler territory, that T-Rex saves the day and it's glorious.
Yeah.
He sits in the back. He's in the back seat the whole time. You see one shot of him early on, and he's degraded to nothing.
And
they got this new
my
big
brain
guy.
didn't even go there.
My brain didn't go there either.
Not
And when I knew when she was going to open that gate, I got so excited.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like
awesome.
a little kid.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yes.
And also, I like this twist. Spoiler. We don't need to say it. But the raptors you see from the trailers and stuff. They listen to Chris Pratt and they go hunting. But I liked how they turned on him. And I know eventually some came back, but.
Right,
that
all
was
the
cool.
things that I was worried about from the trailer, him with the motorcycle, they set those relationships up nicely to where I sympathized with it's the man and his dog relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't expect to buy into it, and they
because he never really had full control.
Right.
And so,
I was a little worried during that final fight. Though there's a moment where you think the T-Rex is going down, and I got really upset.
I know. I thought they were about to.
I was like, no, just let him kill him.
Well, the final
blow
coming from there, I never would have thought that either.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Yeah, it was.
I
got so excited, and then I was about to get really sad.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
The aviary, I feel is a pretty cinematically amazing part that just kind of stuck in the middle, but all those birds breaking out and coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
It's
took me back to Dinotopia days.
Yeah.
Or and you can.
I'm gonna go to Kemer's first because it's more time to talk.
Cool. If I had to sum it, my favorite thing would be the bazooka hitting the I guess not the T-Rex, but the what was it we were calling the main creature?
The
Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex. All right.
I like that too, because at that point it's you guys need bazookas. They had tasers at first, and it's we'll use some machines.
Right. What are you doing? Tasers.
Nuke that thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do.
It is interesting that they were able to make such vehicular technology, but unable to upgrade their weapons at all in between sequels.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm down with it.
I'm still confused about the gyrosphere. It looked like something out of Tron.
That was the only real thing that, like, to me, was like, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were trying to do the theme park ride thing again, but put them on a like. Did we not learn from the first movie to keep them on a track?
I just wanted a little
runs?
track that you could see.
Don't go off the track.
And that would have been perfectly fine.
I mean, maybe that was an intentional nod to, like, not go off the moment where the kid drives it through the broken gate. It's like,
well, the older brother's like, hey man, you know, I was kind of a jerk to you earlier. I'll make it up to you by veering us off road
into a gate that clearly was busted open by a dinosaur.
Yeah. And
that was one thing. So, like, you know, from the beginning of the first part where they ruined the theme for me a little bit, and then, like, the gyro thing, I was like, I wasn't on board yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, the whole time I was like kind of personally criticizing the look of the dinosaur. It's still very CG.
And there's just enough of, like, kind of a light vibe with it that you don't worry about some of those things, like even plot hole, or, you know, some silly stuff. Because it kind of kept, like, a light, fun tone, which the other two, even the other two sequels, kind of didn't have. It took themselves kind of seriously, and they wanted to be the first one.
Definitely. See, it felt like a kid's movie a lot to me.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. It's like, well, it's really hard for me to go back and be 10 years old again or whatever, watch it. Like, you know, to a 10-year-old today, this is probably flawless.
Right.
Yeah. And so you have to kind of think about it like that.
And I'm glad they didn't, like, do too much fan service and have, like, you know, the guy in the first one, the hunter, like, clever girl. Like, I'm glad Chris Pratt's character wasn't, like, his son or something.
Right.
You know, I mean, they could have done that.
They kept enough distance.
Or Goldblum would have, like, flown in at the end and been like, wow, good at time. Yeah, like, shut. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do anything too wacky.
But I was thinking, like, you know, they were very self-aware with the whole idea that, you know, just a dinosaur isn't enough to thrill people anymore. Kind of like being like, the movie can't just be dinosaurs.
Right.
But in my mind, I was kind of thinking, like, well, it can be just dinosaurs if you make really good-looking dinosaurs. Yeah. Like, that was, to me, part of what's amazing about the first film is how realistic they looked and felt. Like, they had so many real puppet shots. And there is a great, I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there's a great puppet moment with the dying brontosaurus.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was a real puppet. And you can tell that was not CG. They were holding it.
Well,
and there was so much of that in the first one, and then this one is like 20 years later, you still can't make a convincing looking dinosaur.
I don't understand the logic there, though, when they're like, we're losing attendance every year because people are tired of seeing dinosaurs. It's like, well, I mean, how come the zoos don't shut down?
Right,
No one's ever like, we're sick of seeing the lions. Yeah. Like, I mean, and that's the one place in the world.
Well, obviously, there's a little militarized pressure coming from on top, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a hidden agenda.
We're passing my house here.
But I was very pleased overall. I was going in pretty pessimistic, and I had several moments of genuine kiddie thrill where I felt like I was watching the first movie again.
They did it.
And that final battle, they nailed that.
Yeah.
Man. I got so excited.
The CG looked better than the other trailers and stuff.
Yeah. So, good job, Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah. That's how you say it.
I lied. I took you back to your house, Landon.
It's okay. It's all right.
Thank you.
This is my first time to see a dinosaur movie in theaters. I appreciate the honor. This is something my parents wouldn't do for me, and you guys did.
Oh man, that's so sweet.
I'll see you tomorrow, fellas.
All right. Thanks, Landon. Yeah, thank you, Landon.
Oh yeah, we also got these special badges.
Yeah, what are these for?
Well, if you take a picture with your badge and tag Regal Movies in Jurassic World IMAX, you can win a $100 gift card and prize pack.
I'm not doing that.
Did we just inadvertently do it?
Yeah, I think we did.
The show. Hey, okay. I guess I'll cut. Do you still want to? This is a first. Is we're dropping them off at two different locations. I don't know if do we continue the show or do we?
I mean, what are we gonna talk about? Like, just turn it off and be like, well, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if we turn it off, we'll still be talking about the movie probably. So.
I'll think.
It's a good chance to think of the things that we normally forget and wish we had said.
Right.
How do I get you out from here? Straight.
Right. Let's think.
I know there's something. As soon as we quit rolling, there's something I'm gonna think about.
I know.
Think about during the movie.
Exactly. That's the thing that always happens.
You had your notepad, but I didn't see you take any notes.
I didn't take any notes.
Which is probably a good thing. It means you're engrossed in the film, right?
That's right. I took several notes during Paul Blart Mall Cop. I mean, I could have left it with a novel if I wanted to. Yeah, it did enough like new stuff. Like it wasn't. And it was interesting that like they had so many people on, and they had some gruesome death scenes. I think pretty gruesome.
Oh gosh, the one torture scene with the British lady. I wanted to talk about that.
They made her kind of like
that made me uncomfortable.
Me too.
Like that was like super violent.
And granted, they introduced the character as kind of like a
you want her
like
to
a
die.
stuck-up kind of girl, but like, geez, she didn't deserve that.
Oh my God.
She got like picked apart by like a dinosaur, then dropped and like caught and eaten again,
and then like drowning her. It's like pterodactyls like drops her in the water, then they start dive bombing and pick her up and dunk her and pick her up and dunk her.
She was kind of rude.
I was like, I don't know. Like if I had a kid, I don't know if I'd take her.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and there's a lot of like.
There's a lot I could talk. That made me uncomfortable. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, geez, no one deserves that.
Right.
You can go right.
Straight.
You can go right. Yeah. Right. And you know, the kid was the younger one from Iron Man 3.
I didn't pick up.
And he's a good little actor.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the brotherly relationship worked pretty well.
Yeah.
And that was a nice, that's a kind of an indirect nod. They were kind of repeating what works in the first movie.
Oh, and then another great bit of nostalgia from that scene you're talking about where he picks up the glasses.
The goggles. Oh, that made me excited too.
Yeah.
That was not, and they didn't overdo it. Like, it's not like they spent like the night there or like played piece. Like they didn't do like a MacGyver thing where it's like we have to use all of the old things that they used in the first movie to survive.
Right.
It was just kind of there's a truck.
Right.
Let's use it.
Exactly.
I did like the part where they, the nice little nod where they're pulling up to the electric fence and he just drives right through it.
Yeah.
It's like, that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't left. I also liked when I believe his name's Jake Johnson. He plays like the nerdy guy. He goes in to kiss that girl.
Yeah.
She's like, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah,
like he does something heroic and he tries to like kiss her like. There
were several good little one-liners in there.
And I was like, I didn't expect that. Like movies never do that. And he was like,
in my mind, that triggers. This was the Colin Trevorrow that made Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they had moments in there. He's like, no, that's been done like 15 times.
Yeah, here's the clever banter that the indie guy is known for.
Exactly. And it just felt like
I love that T-Rex.
T-Rex, man. That was awesome. That was so smart.
Man, that was beautiful.
But also, they made it pretty believable because he didn't like just straight up take him on.
Right.
Like he almost died, and it took like a raptor.
Yeah,
and then it took
they had to work together.
That part was. I never would have thought that. That was cool.
Just the door opening with her with the flare.
Oh, it was
and
great.
then you kind of see the glow in his eyes coming, and you're like, it's like your old friends coming back. It's just
BDH was great in this. That's why I call Bryce Dallas Howard as of tonight. And Jessica Chastain's, everyone's gonna be like, "Are you Bryce Dallas Howard?" That's what's gonna happen after this movie. Watch your back, Chastain. BDH is coming for you.
I thought BDH was gonna be kind of a cliche girly character, but she, I think they wanted to make you think that. And then
then
turns out to be kind of a
takes
badass.
off some of her clothes and goes awesome. I mean, not because of that, but that happens as well.
She simultaneously becomes more masculine and more feminine at the same time.
Right, because it's like,
boobs and guns.
But it was good. It was
T-Rex.
good.
I love me some T-Rex, man.
Love the T-Rex. I mean, that earned my money right there.
Man, I felt like I was 10 for a few minutes. I haven't felt like that since
I felt like it was an old friend.
Where the Wild Things Are made me feel like I was a kid. Like that, I haven't felt like that in a long time.
Yeah.
I think that's what Star Wars will make.
And like, there's no question. I was like, he's gonna go get him.
No. Yeah.
I don't care about the people he's killed.
Like at that moment, the T-Rex could have just come, bit his head off. It could have cut to credits. It would have been fine.
I was so happy you kind of see the T-Rex. It was like a golden retriever giant one was running out there, and you're like, get him, like, get him, Lassie, or like,
get him, boy.
Flipper, like, yeah. All right. So yeah, fun.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Universal. You
Good
don't
job.
usually get that right.
Good job, Colin Trevorrow. And BDH and Chris Pratt.
BDH. Hashtag BDH.
BDH. You heard it here first. All right, see ya.
Bye.